Welcome to the Tongue of the Trees. I'm Elizabeth Ashley, the Secret Healer, and today we're talking about what is marjoram essential oil good for. So this is interesting because normally I'll say this is an oil I use lots of, or this is an oil I don't use lots of, or this is an oil that I really like. Well, this is an oil I use lots of, but I don't really have that much of an affinity with, so it's completely in the middle. So this is going to be interesting. So it's a very, very useful oil, marjoram, and I talk about it lots in my book. If you haven't seen this before, this is free to download on the all good ebook platforms, whether that's Amazon, iTunes, Barnes and Noble, etc., etc. You can, of course, write in it because there's lots and lots of spaces. If I give you any extra information that's useful to you, scroll it all in. The marjoram, actually, I've had a fascinating year watching the marjoram because it grows a lot in our garden. I've got a big self-seeded patch where I used to have loads of herbs close by, and the seed dropped down and it's grown into an enormous patch. And it's been absolutely covered in honeybees. The honeybees love the marjoram. So I've used it a lot more in cooking because simply I've just been noticing it while I've been watching the bees. But normally what I would use marjoram for is three different things. The first is for respiratory problems, to help free up the breathing. So if you've got a cough or a cold, asthma, asthma in particular, nervous asthma and children's nervous asthma. Which brings me on to the next point. One of the other reasons that I use marjoram so much is it's one of my specifics for children. Excellent oil for particularly little girls who are very upset. It's a beautiful, beautiful oil. Very, very pacifying, very, very soothing. And so if somebody's suffering from stress related asthma, then marjoram is a tremendous help. And you know, this is one of the oils that I would say to you, you don't actually need to use that much essential oil. If you've got it in the garden, it's so laden with the oil. You know, throw it into some hot water, sort of bash it up a bit and throw it into some hot water, and just the fumes are tremendous for slowing down the breath, for opening up the airways, to relieve coughs and colds, to just generally free the respiratory system up. It's very warming oil too. So if you have got a really bad cold and you can't get warm, then a bit of marjoram is excellent. Perhaps not as good as maybe something like ginger or cinnamon or cloves that have that beautiful warming, but it does have a warming nature to it. The last way that I use it is as a tonic for the central nervous system. So in particular, if somebody can't sleep and they're having stress related insomnia, it's very good for balancing the circadian rhythms. So you know, if like you can't get to sleep and your mind goes over and over and over and over things, it kind of stops that and balances things out, so it gets it into a normal routine of going to sleep. Excellent. It's very good for dilating the blood vessels, so it's a particularly useful oil if you have high blood pressure. Again, we're kind of having this situation, where do we come in with it? Where is it to do with the way that it calms down how upset you are? Perhaps it slows down the breathing. All of those would have an impact, of course, on the blood pressure. As I say, it's very good for the muscles. So it's very warming to the muscles. So things like arthritis, rheumatism, excellent, excellent for that. And if you get tummy aches and tummy cramps, problems with peristalsis, then again, lovely oil, especially with something like chamomile that really calms down the digestion too. But yeah, so this is kind of a short video really, because I think the magic of marjoram comes from its emotional content, but the way that it works on the central nervous system means that it will be calming to anxiety, excellent for migraines, for respiratory spasms, for nervous tics. Actually, that's an excellent point. If somebody has dystonia or Tourette's or anything that gets worse through, like that twitching that gets worse through stress, marjoram's an excellent help for that. And yeah, just weakness and debility generally, you know, if you are tired out, if you've become exhausted, if you're weakened through illness, just, it's a fortifying medicine. So that was short and sweet really, wasn't it? But it's a tremendous central nervous tonic, and so obviously we will see that play out through the emotional body. So I would recommend to you to click on the link below, come and see me on my website where we'll talk more about the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, but also the safety side of marjoram essential oil, and also how to blend it. So yeah, see you on the other side, and we'll get more involved in the Tongue of the Trees cards, and we'll look at how marjoram helps you bypass the conscious mind and start working on a different, more profound healing level. So see you in a minute in what is marjoram essential oil good for the emotional, mental and spiritual bodies.
You get your phone, you turn it this way up, and then there's a little red subscribe button. Turn it grey by clicking it, and then there's a little bell. Click that and press all at the bottom of your phone or tablet or computer. It will say you will receive all notifications, and then there's a little hand with a thumbs up. Click that, it'll turn it blue and it says added to your liked videos, and there will be comments, and if you want to you can send a comment and say like hi's to Mum and Gagli, and then the link to the next video will be in the description below underneath the video. So bye.